trapped, a slave to my meat master. Hogs in the wheel could soon decay me a disaster. Hide my meals, you dim the street, illuminate me. I can't feel the one sitting right next to me. When I die, I get digitized. When I die today, I'm saying.
Get some action going here. Here we go. We got some action. Let's go, Jared. We still cheering our boy Jared on, the plumber turned judo master. Come on, buddy. We're going to be cheering you on. We're going to turn up the heat, too. Might even have to send him some postcards to that Olympic Training Center. You know what I mean? Give him a little bit of support, people. We got to get our guy. Man, I'm telling you, you'll be happy about it when he makes the Olympics. Then you'll be like, that's my guy. I know that guy. You know what I'm saying, people? Come on. How's everybody doing today on this fantastic day 17? Get your paper wet. I'm really excited about it today. How you doing? Okay, check in with yourself. Do that, okay? I'm not going to harp on it every time and tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you figure that out, right? You crawl at first, then you got to learn how to walk, and then, damn it, I got to leave you alone. So you can get out there and walk and run and figure things out in life, you know? That's what it's all about, taking charge of your own ship. Makes me think of Punyo. I love that show. You guys ever seen that show, Punyo? Studio Ghibli animated film. Oh, it's great. So much fantastic imagery. There's this little boy, and he gets this little ship, and then his whole town floods, and he takes his little boat, and he goes through the whole town to go find his mom or whatever. It's pretty awesome. Check it out. That's a little freebie right there. A little side note for you. A little freebie that I just threw in there, you know. Just do it like a Cracker Jack prize or something, okay? All right, just a few announcements before we get into the show, the program, as it were. All right. We got our sticker packs. Really excited about those. Every one of them turned out brilliant, like I knew they would, because I'm a professional, people. If you didn't know, I'm a professional. So they'd be going out on Monday, okay? Now it's going to be in a turquoise envelope, so keep your eyes peeled for that turquoise envelope, okay? I had to be different, you know, got to put a smile on your face. Can't be no white envelope coming in the mail. Get out of here. What are you talking about? Come on. I got more interviews lined up. Got a couple more lined up, and I'm working on a couple other ones. So I'm trying to get some big surprises. You know, I'm just a little fledgling fella. But we can shoot for the moon, can't we? We can get some big old people in here, talk to some people. We can use that hubris to our advantage, right? Fly like Icarus, try to get right next to that sunshine now. Come on. All right. And then on Saturday, we're going to do a little bit of a stream. I'm probably going to try and make it something I do every Saturday at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're just going to do a little chit-chatting, a little demo, answer any questions that there might be out there. We got to talk about everything. You know what I'm saying, people? And I'll probably have in my back pocket a sketchbook tour just in case ain't nobody show up and it's just boring as hell. So I'll just start talking about sketchbook, and then it'll record, and people can watch it at their leisure as they do. Because I know people are busy, man. People are out there getting stuff done, you know? Because we're all professional, right? They don't tell you this, but as soon as you graduate high school, your ass is professional, whether you like it or not. You better be getting paid, right? Got to get out there and hustle one way or another. Now, what I wanted to talk about today was, hey, make sure, we talk about stoking your fire all the time, right? Make sure you find something today or this week that you can get excited about, okay? Get excited about it. Find something. Maybe you're going to go see a movie. Maybe you're going to get an ice cream cone. Maybe you're going to go to sushi. Maybe you got something on Amazon, or maybe a sketchbook that you haven't wanted to get that you finally got from an artist that you love, but you've been keeping an eye on it for like 7 months, but telling yourself, no. Get out there and get it. Make it happen, okay? So you can be excited about it. So you can fulfill that, quench that thirst of excitement, and then wear that excitement on your sleeve that whole day or that whole week, right? In anticipation, and just watch how it changes people, okay? Excitement changes people, especially when they get in your 6-foot bubble, you know? Your 6-foot bubble is your social zone, okay? If anybody comes within that 6-foot bubble, they want to talk to you or they want to sell you something, or, you know, you got that opportunity to change them with your electricity, with your excitement. So be excited, and then watch how that genuine excitement impacts people when you're out and about and you're wearing that big old smile on your face and whatnot, okay? Now, I'm excited about, there's this cactus that I got out front, all right? Now, when I first moved up here in the desert, I seen these cactus, and there's these cactus, and they're the most remarkable cactus I've ever seen. And they're like nice big pads, and they change colors depending on how much water they have. Okay, they're normally like an aqua green or in a turquoise, and they change colors, and then when it rains, they turn this reddish purple color. It's crazy. It's wild. And then they also sprout a flower once a year, and you know, it's a really pretty flower. Sometimes I think the flower is mostly like this bright yellow. And so I've been eyeballing, you know, these cactus. Some people in their front yards got these cactus real nice, and I'll drive by and eyeball them like, ooh, how can I run onto their property and, you know, steal me a pad or two? You know what I'm saying? Well, I've been driving around for a little while. I do the same thing with pomegranates too, people. Up where I live, pomegranate trees grow like crazy, so I'm eyeballing people's pomegranates, you know, and they grow about this big. And I'm like, holy shit, how do I get a hold of them pomegranates? Well, I got a hold of a few of them. I got like maybe 9 or 10 pomegranate trees in my backyard that are like, you know, this big, getting bigger as we speak. But back to the cactus. We're talking about cactus today, okay? So I'm eyeballing these cactus, driving around for a couple of years. You know, I don't really want to go on somebody's property and take them, you know, just for the principle of it. I mean, I would if it was a little more country, but not really out, you know, it's kind of a mixed desert, you know, subdivision, whatever. And so I finally find that there's some cactus growing out in the field somewhere where I'm driving by. Now, I don't know if you can hear the crows, but they're out there getting their garbage on. Today is garbage day. And so the crows get wild on garbage day. They like to jump all through the garbage and make all kinds of noises, knock it over, and just have, it sounds like they're having a drunk party out there, you know? Kind of how like you have a bar and every 2 o'clock in the morning, everybody spills out in a ruckus and they all loud. Well, that's them out there right now. Now, I'll try to remember to put that video of the ravens on the video, because I took it the other day. I was supposed to put it up, but I forgot. I got busy and distracted and going on my day, and I try to hurry up and edit these videos as quick as I can to put them up so that people can watch them, but also I can get on with the rest of my day. You know, I just do this in the morning for fun. So anyway, back to the cactus, right? We was talking about cactus. So I finally find on this, I think it's public land, it's like next to a fire station or something out in this field, I find a patch of these cactus. So I'm so excited because I can finally go and get them. But, you know, I don't know if you know this, but cactus got these splinters on them. They got these thorns on them. They got these spines on them, man. And there ain't no joke. And they get on everything. I'm talking everything. They get in your skin. So anyway, I go over there, put them in a bucket. And I got my barbecue pinchers. You know, I got a nice little curved blade knife, a sickle knife. And I cut me off a few pads. But then I bring them home and I got to deal with these splinters and these thistles and these, I don't know, spines in my skin for the next week. It was terrible. They were everywhere. I find them, I wake up in the middle of the night and be laying on top of one of my finger and just about jump out of the bed because I'm thinking some spider or something crawled in there and bit me or something. But no, it was these thorns from, not thorns, I don't know what they're called. You know what I'm talking about. The spines or whatever. Anyway, so then I'm walking around at a some kind of farmer's market out here, and I find this old Mexican lady, and I don't really know what she's doing, but she's got these planters, and the planters are awesome. They look like these giant tortoises, and they're made out of concrete and rock. And so I'm thinking, boy, that would be fun to put them cactus and have them grow out of that planter. And of course I'm like, nah, don't buy it. It's just whatever. But then I get excited about it after I get home and I'm still thinking about it. So I drive my ass back up there, right? And she's still there, ain't sold none. So I go, oh, let me get one of these little ones. How much are they? She tells me, and I'm like, okay, well, I really want that big one. So she says, I'll give you a deal, 2 for whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I get all excited about it. And I tell you, if that planter don't weigh 100 pounds, because it was just concrete and rock, and she pretends like she's gonna pick it up, right? She pretends. And I'm like, this is a little late. She ain't gonna pick this up. I don't know how the hell she got all this stuff here in the first place, but them Mexicans, they run around like a crew, and I wouldn't be surprised if, she had a whole crew of guys that set her all up and then went on to do their thing, and then she sells and they come back and they pick it all up later. That probably is exactly what happens. So of course I drive my car, back it up to the spot, and I get the little one that weighs 25 pounds, and then the big motherfucker, the Hulk, wrestle his ass into the fucking back of the car. It's 100 pounds. It's gotta be, right? It's just concrete and rock. I'll put the picture up. So I finally get it. And I'm all excited, and I get home and I try to wrestle. And of course, wouldn't you know it, I plant a pad in the turtle, and the damn thing dies. Just up and dies on me. So I gotta go back over to the place and I get me some more of them cactus lilies, pads or whatever, and I come back and finally after a couple months, I could tell they survived, they took root or whatever, and now I got me a nice cactus growing in the back of that turtle. And it's awesome. And every time I walk past it, I see it, I get excited. And it's growing so much that I have to cut the pads off the top so it doesn't grow too big and try to fall over. And then I got like little tiny baby ones growing now. And out of that little tiny turtle that I got, that turtle planter, I got little bitty baby pads. And then of course every time I walk up on my house, I get so happy about it because it looks good. And thank God ain't nobody gonna steal it around here, because they're all idiots and they're gonna walk up to my property and get thistles on them, so they'll leave me alone. And I'm out in the desert anyway. Ain't nobody running around stealing anything. They might be trying to hide their meth, but they ain't trying to steal my cactus and my concrete planters, I'll tell you that much. Ain't nobody trying to work out in here in these parts. They just trying to cook up that lame meth, But anyway, I got them nice planters. I'm all excited about it. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. And what I was going to do today is I was going to do a little demonstration about these little planters that I did. I made a little cartoon. Because what I'm trying to do, if you can see it right there, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a fun little sticker out of it, right? I got this really cool planter with these really cool cactuses growing out of it, and the turtle, he's all happy. You see that? He's got a smiley face. He's looking up. Now, I know you might think that looks like some kind of something else, but it ain't something else, all right? It's a turtle, people. Bring yourself back in. If I wanted to draw something else, I'd draw it. You trust me on that one. But I know that kind of looks like something else, but it's just a happy turtle. So anyway, what we're going to do today is we're just going to do this turtle. Now, before I start, let's wake up our watercolors. They've been sleeping all day, loafing around, not doing any work. We got to get the old watercolor fairies to do some work now. Now, if you'll see what I did, I already taped it out, but I did a fun little trick on the tape, and I wanted to share it with you real quick. Now, what I do with the tape when I put it on there is I just went ahead and took the tape and I ripped it just like this. See how I ripped that right there? And that makes this kind of really fun ripped edge, and then I go ahead and I put that down with the ripped edge facing inward towards the artwork. Now, you'll see why I did that in a minute. Okay, people? And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and do a little color study and see what kind of colors we like for our turtle here. Now, I told you the turtle was a little bit of turquoise and a little bit of red. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a couple layers here. I'm going to take some of this yellow and we're just going to put the yellow on there like that. Now, these are just sketches. We're not trying to worry about it too much, okay? These are just sketches, all right? So we got that little on there, that little turtle. Now I'm going to take some of this black, mix it with just a little bit of that blue, kind of come back in here so the planner can be a little bit darker. Okay? We're going to separate it out just a little bit. And we ain't going to worry about it. Okay, people? We ain't going to worry about it. All right? Now, I don't know what would be a good color distinction for the background, but since we don't know right now, we'll just take a darker blue, get a dark blue, and we'll just paint the background dark blue. Now, these are just flats. I'm not doing anything. These are just flats, people. Remember what flats mean. I'm not trying to make a gradient. I'm not trying to make a color change of temperature. I'm picking one solid color and just filling it in. All right, now if it mixes up with another color, that's just the watercolor doing its thing, helping me out. I guess it felt bad because it was sleeping in late, so now it's just going to help me out down here. Okay, going to help me out. Now I'm just going to avoid that pad of the other one, the other turtle from down below. Okay, now we're going to come up in here and just separate these out. Now, how long do you think this is going to take me? And how long is it going to take you? Now, the reason why I ask that question is because when you relax and just go with the flow with the watercolor, it don't take no time at all. You don't have to worry about anything. And before you know it, you've got your 30 minutes all done and completed in your sketchbook. Okay? And now you're happy. So I'm not worried about the value. I'm not concerning myself with the colors. I'm just picking up right now any kind of water that's pulling up or beating up anywhere on the page. I'm just getting rid of that, all right, because I don't want it to slosh around. And I'm just going to let that dry off a little bit. And this is a flat. This is a flat. I only use 3 colors: the yellow color, the gray color, and the blue color. All those variations, like I said before, that are going on in there, all those little variations in there, is the watercolor doing its job. See how it's like trying to slide down right there due to gravity? It's just doing its job. Now I want this to dry. The reason why I want it to dry is because I'm going to take the turquoise, get some turquoise. Can you see me getting it? No, you can't. There you go. We'll put it right there. Put it right there. Do you see me getting this turquoise right here? I'm getting that turquoise with the medium level brush, and I want to just slide it over the yellow to make this nice turquoise, yellow, green. Now you want to leave a little bit of spaces where the yellow pops through still. See how I did that right there? And that makes it seem like it's alive. Okay? It's okay if some parts are more than others. See how it does that? Nice and fun and makes it seem alive a little bit. Okay? Now we're going to leave that alone for a minute. We're going to come in here and get some of this red. Now the red that I'm using is called like Quinos Rose or something like that. We're just going to come in here and, oh, that might be a little, see, that might be a little too intense right there. But see how it's nice and spreading out like it's doing? Now I'm going to go ahead and absorb that and start over again, okay? A little mistake right there. So we're going to grab a little bit of that red again, dilute it with water, and we're just going to come up in here and mix it into it in some places, okay? Mix it into it in some places, like so, all right? Use your finger to manipulate the watercolor as you want, okay? And then what we got now is a really fun variation of color, and we really didn't do anything. I don't know if you'd even call this painting, right? The watercolor itself is doing all the heavy lifting. We're not doing nothing. Now I'm going to take some of this yellow and I'm going to put it right here in this side of this rose, the cactus rose. Then I'm going to take a little bit of red on the outside, put it on the outside, just like that. Okay. Now there might be too much water. Now one of the cool things when you paint with India, when you draw with India ink, or you do pen and ink, and you have a waterproof ink, is that when you lay down the ink helps to contain the watercolor. That's a big reason why none of this watercolor is running down into my turtle down here. Okay, it's because it's all being contained. If it wasn't contained by the ink, it would want to run everywhere. See what I mean? See what I mean, people? Let me just show you real quick. Hold it up to the camera, you can see. See that? How he's all happy and all that kind of stuff? Okay. All right. Now, we can go ahead and do this little pad down here too, just for fun. And I kind of like to think of these like these little squares, like you're looking through a looking glass, and everywhere you're looking in the square, it gets colored. But when it's not in the square, it doesn't get colored. So it's kind of like your gaze a little bit, all right? Like where your view lands, okay? So we'll take some of this gray again, and we'll paint certain areas so that it pops out. There's certain areas in here. Looking good. And I haven't done any variation of color, meaning I haven't tried to manipulate the colors or anything like that. I've just used flats on top of flats. You get what I'm saying with that, people? Now, we really want to pop these out. So I would like a complementary color from the yellow and the turquoise and the red, and I'm not sure exactly what that could be. Of course, you could look at your color wheel, if you had a color wheel, and look at the opposite side, or you could kind of just guess based upon visually, and that's what we're going to do. We're just going to guess visually. So I'm going to grab one of these dark blues, and I'm going to add a little bit of black to it. And we're just going to put it down here and guess visually, and try to pop these colors out a little bit more. And I got a little hair in there from my brush that got caught up. You know, you always have little obstacles wanting to jump up and ruin your painting, but just stay positive about it. It's no big deal. Sometimes it helps. Okay, so this is looking good. It's popping out the color like I wanted it to by adding a darker, more subdued value and color behind. And all I'm doing, I'm not even doing anything drawing or painting wise. I'm kind of just trying to outline these pads, these cactus pads, and you know, trying to outline them a little bit, and then make a solid wash so that they look brighter to the eye than when they're not around it. Okay. Now what we can do is we can come in here with that little bit of that lighter gray and put it just in the place where the rocks might cast a shadow. Again, this is just a cartoon. We're having a good time. So you can make up the physics as you want to. There might not even be shadows in your cartoons. It's just whatever style you want to do. And you can decide on the spot, or you can have a big complex plan before you even go. You know what I mean, people? And what I'd like to do is I'd like to separate it further, so I'm going to make a little bit of a purple. Now I'm making a purple because I don't want to make another gray, but I want it relatively close to that color. It adds a little bit more life to what we're doing. If you use just gray, it's not going to pop. I mean, gray definitely has its place, but as you can see now, his smile is popping out, okay? Just like that. Now, of course, if you want to, you can go ahead and do some fun things. And what I mean by that is every time there's a big cool wash like this, we're going to classify the blue and the black wash as cool. You can always go in and break the opposite against the tide, meaning add a little flecks of warm. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to add little flecks of warm in here just to try to make a little bit of life. Okay? And we're going to let that warmth just kind of blend in. Now I'm going to, this one got a little too out of hand right here, so I'm just getting rid of him. I didn't want him on my cactus like that. And if you're looking at it and your little flecks of warmth are too strong, like maybe you're thinking those are too strong, right? Grab your spray bottle, we got it right here, and just give it a little spritz, little spritz, little spritz, little spritz. And it's gonna diffuse over time because of that spritz. See how it's diffusing? It's diffusing right there. Now pay attention for that water to pool up, because you don't want it to pool up. So absorb those little water dots. Because if you let them dry like that, there's going to be very intense color where the water dots dry. You don't want that to happen. Okay, it'll ruin the effect of what you're going after. All right, now, you know, I just saw that orange water dot right there, and it kind of gave me an idea, right? What if the happiness that we see, what if it's a lady, you know? What if that's a lady turtle? So maybe we'll just add a little bit of lipstick in here, and it adds a little bit of whimsy, a little bit of whimsy. Maybe she's going out on the town and getting ready to get out there and see what's going on. You know, maybe she's going out, she's looking her best, her Friday night best, that she's going to go out with some of her friends to dinner. So she puts on her lipstick. Okay? Now she's all excited about it. All right. Now, that's a nice touch. Now we're going to remove the tape, and we're going to see that torn edge that I was telling you guys about. Now, you can also make the torn edge more apparent, or you can keep the torn edge soft like I did. Like I didn't make a whole bunch of zigzag tears in it. I just kind of kept it nice and simple. Now, doesn't that make a really nice effect on the border? See how it is right there? Isn't that really nice? Comes out really nice. And it's fun, and it's a different kind of thing. Now, as you can see, I got that hair up there. But you can deal with it later or let it dry and get rid of it. But it doesn't, I'm not really concerned with it. But essentially, that's kind of what I'm going for. Now, I've asked myself, wouldn't that make a fun sticker? I think that would make a great sticker. Now, I might adjust the colorways because I like the turquoise more and the purples more. And I think the orange is probably a little too heavy just for what I'm going for, my taste. But that turned out really nice. And we got one little fun little surprise out of it, which is the lipstick. So now it's a female turtle, and I didn't know that before. Now, make yourself something fun that you're excited about. Maybe you got an ice cream sundae. Draw yourself a little ice cream sundae cartoon, and then have fun putting down the flats. And let the watercolor add the texture. Let it do wet on wet. You know, you can even go ahead and use some of the texture from the toilet paper or the paper towel dab to add texture at the end. Okay, people? One of the things I like to stress about texture is, for the most part, you add it at the end. Because think about it, if you keep putting layers upon layers of texture, it's just all going to wash out, right? So get your colors where you want them, the flats. Get it to where when you look down, you giggle at it. You know, you have yourself a little bit of a laugh. And then add texture and play around with it and have a good time, you know? And I'll probably go ahead and take this and experiment on the other 3 drawings that I have down here to find the right color scheme that I want. And then, hell, I'll go ahead and make another sticker. How about that? So get excited, get out there, get after something. Let's cheer on Jared, and let's make it a day. Day 17, people.